So let's look at this. Let's work backwards. We're going from this thing, which is a mixed radical, into an entire radical. Now, maybe we should look at a number question before we deal with something with variables in it. I think that would be a good idea. So do you remember something like this where we had 2 square root 5? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. To make this into an entire radical, we had to look at the index. And we said, oh, yeah. That was actually 2 squared. Why? Because that was originally a pair of numbers, right? And then we had 5 sitting out here. So 2 squared is 4. 4 times 5 is easy. That's 20. And then I would just take that and put it underneath the entire radical, and that was the original radical, right? So we went from root 20 to 2 root 5. Okay, so let's do the same thing for this guy over here. Right here. Let me erase this and clean this up a little bit. Remember what the index was. The index was in fact 2. So I want a cubed to the power of 2, and then don't forget this a that was left behind. We'll put it under the radical later. Look, 3 times 2 is 6. So this is a to the 6 times a to the 1, and exponents laws tells us that this is a to the 7. And all you have to do now is look back at the original radical, which was a square root, and say, okay, that's the square root of a to the 7. See how it works? Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Let's go back to looking at this one now. Look, that index is cubed. So this would be 5b cubed, and then of course I would multiply it by 4b squared. Now remember what 5b cubed means. You have to actually take that 3 and distribute it to both of those things inside the brackets. So that's 5 cubed and b cubed, and that's going to be 4b squared. Oh my goodness. 5 cubed, 5 times 5, 25 times 5 again. That's 125 b cubed times 4b squared. Man, that's going to give you a big number here. As a matter of fact, 4 times 125, clean that up, is going to work out to be 500. You have a b cubed and a b squared. That's b to the 5. Oh my goodness. And what you would do is put that under the original radical, which is cubed rooted. So that's a big number to deal with. But yeah, that's what happens when we start cubing numbers. It gets pretty big pretty fast. So I think that would be a really nice exercise for you here. Go check this podcast out again and see how it works.